Today on Outside the Box Reviews, we are taking a look at the NECA Aliens 2-pack of Corporal Dwayne Hicks versus the Xenomorph Warrior. And this is one of the two packs that we were promised at the very onset of this line. And ironically, we had to wait longer for these to show up than we did for the Genocide 2-pack. But this was basically supposed to be a retread of Wave 1 with some variations. We would get the Marines with helmets, we'd get the aliens with battle damage, and they were supposed to come out like last summer from what NECA was saying, and it took a little while longer because these started kinda showing up about December. I had quite an ordeal trying to track these down. Toys R Us listed them on their website with a pickup at store option. If you followed me on Facebook, you saw this whole ordeal. And they basically had an option on there where you could buy your figure on the website, go to the store within minutes and pick up your figure. And since it listed my local Toys R Us had these in stock, I went looking for the figures, couldn't find them, and nobody was willing looking back for me, so I basically just went ahead and ordered them on my phone, figured I'd pick them up on my lunch break. And I got an email saying they were not actually in stock, even though the store computer claimed they had 6 in stock, but they weren't actually in the store. And then did the same for another Toys R Us in the area and got the exact same result. So with this item charged twice pending on my credit card, I ended up eventually just going to Amazon Prime and ordering them because that was a heck of a lot less of a headache. But these things really just started showing up in stores recently from what I saw, probably the last couple weeks. So before I make this intro to them longer than my actual hunt for the figures, let's dive right in. And we're going to start with the Xenomorph Warrior. There's really not a lot new here. This is pretty much the exact same body we got last time. Instead of the brown dry brushing effect on him, he's now a nice blue, which I prefer over the brown, but basically the exact same thing we got with the other alien. Some nicely sculpted toes, the skinny biomechanical looking legs. We've kind of the rubberized diaper for the lower torso to allow movement. Spindly little arms, lots of great detail on here. The 3-clawed hands, something I kind of wish they would have changed up just for the fact that it seems like they're just going to keep giving us these hands over and over and not give us new hand poses, which is a little bit of a bummer. Of course, we have the blade here on the side of the arm, the tubes coming off the back, which are a soft rubbery material, very pliable. This top one is actually removable, so you could plop that out and actually rotate the head further back. The long wire bendy tail, of course, a nice little blade here at the end. But of course, the thing we're here to see is the battle damage. So here on the chest, we have, all this really I think is shotgun damage. So it's kind of an explosion popping out of the chest, little waves of acidy green blood, darker in the middle, kind of for where the impact is. This effect isn't great. It's a little rubbery, so it's not too dangerous to break, but it's not the best looking burst effect. It kind of looks a little cartoony, a little cheesy. I do wish it was pegged in there. It'd be kind of cool to be able to remove it and just have a little hole on the chest, than to have it permanently attached, but it's not the worst. But the head here, I absolutely love. I love the gory detail NECA went into on this. This isn't NECA's first exploding head figure. They did one for the Gears of War line and never played that game and almost bought the figure because the exploding head effect was so cool. But I'm glad we finally get this with the alien. And you can see he's got his bottom jaws pretty much intact, but it actually is kind of dropped down a little. See a lot of gore on the inside of it. There's a nice burst. If you turn it this way, you can actually see the back of everything. So you see how the flesh peeled out. And there's just all this nice alien gore on the inside. And this darker stuff is actually just solid painted on there, but the light green has a slight translucency to it, so it picks up the light really well and really just looks like glowing acid blood. We of course have the tongue, the inner jaw flying off to the side. You can see how long it is and how far it goes back in the head. It's ridiculous, but just very brutal. And then my favorite part here, we have the top of the head being blown off with a trail of translucent blood leading it on there. It looks a lot more natural than I would ever think it really would, but just really well done. Very, very cool. All the paint detail from the rest of the figure is here with the actual Xenomorph skin, but the added gore effects just really boost this up to being just badass. Now for articulation, we basically get the exact same thing we did before. The head is on a ball joint with the spine removed in the back. It will tilt tilt very far up, we'll tilt down, turn side to side, of course limited by these little hoses here, but decent range of articulation on it. Pin and socket shoulders a little tight, but they kind of ratchet up and down. I don't want to mess with it too much and put it out too far because it just really seems like you're going to break it. But it will swivel up and down, rotate at the upper bicep, double jointed elbows, and those can also swivel, and then a hinge and rotate at the wrist, ball joint at the mid torso, pin socket at the leg, so you go forward, back, out to the side. The diaper allows you to not get hindered in movement. You can also twist at the upper leg, double jointed at the knee, ball jointed at the foot, and some nice toe articulation, and of course the bendy wire tail. Now for Hicks, we get this Marine loaded with all of his state of the badass art weaponry, but unfortunately I'm not gonna take all of it off, and I'll get into that in a minute. We do get his rifle, same rifle we got before with both Marines, pretty nicely detailed. You have some stray paint here on the back, but very cool. I like the olive kind of drab on it, the black, the metallic little highlights on it, the dirt around the little pump up here at the front, has a soft rubber strap on it so you can put it over his shoulder, and he holds it pretty well. Here on Hicks' back, just like the first release, we get the shotgun, and this straps around his chest as well, and this is the first one I'm not going to take off because you can see right here, I actually had it break on me right out of the package. It's a little fragile. The other one wasn't so bad, but this one likes to break on me. It's done it twice actually so far, so going to be a little more gentle with this one. But we've already seen this before in the first version of the figure. But that pops open. Of course, we have his shotgun, the same shotgun we had last time. Still very nicely detailed. I like it a lot. There's not a whole lot to say about it, but it's a nice, good weapon for the Marine. And really, I've had my original version posed with the shotgun just because I like the look of it a bit more, but this guy seems to be the one that really needs it just because he's putting the big wounds in the alien. So either I'm going to pose the exploding alien with my original Hicks, or I'm going to put this in this Hicks hand. Here on his side, he has the motion tracker, and once again, this is going to be a pain to actually get off the figure because I actually have to remove the shotgun to get it off now, but same thing we had with Hudson last time, has the rubberized strap, a little readout on here, and once again some nice detail on it. It looks pretty movie accurate, it's pretty well detailed, and of course it will fit in his hand. And see, there you go, it broke again on me. And then of course another new feature to Hicks. Hudson had it last time as well, but here we have the little light backpack on him. Has a little cord you can kind of tuck into his armor, and just a little lamp up here. For the rest of the figure, he has his boots down here, very nicely done with the brown, the eyelets painted onto him. I like that NECA's put so much attention to detail into the boots lately in all these figures. They do look a little long, but we'll forgive it that. They're really nicely detailed. See his leg armor, he has the straps on the side, and it goes around a nice camo. His knee pad, and up here you can see his camo with all the pockets and wrinkles sculpted in. One accessory I forgot was his little welder here, which is actually removable as well, so you could take that off his belt if you'd like. This is crotch panel armor here, more camo on it. Turn around, you can see the belt, pull back the stuff, you can see it's his lifer on the back of his armor, his little kanji here in the middle. All the detail is very hard to see through all this crap he comes with. I like that you could have him fully loaded down, but you really don't get to appreciate a lot of these details with all this stuff on here. But of course, we have the original Hicks for that. He's got his little straps on here. He has his knife that is not removable. I think it's a little grenade on the side. Little heart and his name on his chest. The born again hole in his shoulder. His tattoo on his bare arms here. Nicely sculpted hair on there. He has the motion tracker watch here. And a nice little wrap on the other side. Nicely dirtied skin. And then we have the head sculpt, which I am not a fan of. From the front, I don't think it looks like Michael Biehn at all. From 3/4, looks a little like Michael Biehn. But from the side, I think it looks decently like him. It's not a bad sculpt purely from the side, but any other angle than that, I think it really suffers. And he has the helmet on, of course, and an open mouth, and just doesn't do much for me in the way of the looks of the figure. If you look up, you can see he has fully sculpted hair under this. The helmet is not compressing his hair one bit. And I know it was the 80s, but come on. I mean, the hair product might have been strong, but wasn't quite that strong, I don't think. I could be wrong. I do like that the helmet has all the details, has a little helmet cam up here on the side, has a little flap in the back. that would kind of cover the back of the neck, and even some detail on the underside of that, even though I don't want to peel it up too much. But that's nicely done. Also, the chin strap, you can see I have it connected here. That actually can be disconnected, and you could have it just flapping in the wind, which I like the connected look a little better, but it's cool that you have the option. For articulation, he of course has a ball jointed head, swivel left and right, up and down, side to side, pin socket shoulders. Mine are stiff on this figure too, just like the alien. I don't want to go out too far. This arm goes up a little better. The other arm does not want to go. Swivel at the bicep, bend at the elbow, rotate and swivel at the wrist, ball joint around the mid-torso or the waist, very hindered by all this armor because it is all connected. Pin sock at the legs, forward, back, out to the side, rotate at the upper leg, bend the knee at 2 points, ball joint at the ankle, and your toe joint. Overall, I'm left kind of lukewarm on this set. I wanted to like this so much, but it ends up being a very limited set in what you could actually do with it. Hicks is a decent retool of the original figure, but I've had some brittlety issues with his accessories, and I really don't like the head sculpt, which is the new feature of this figure. Everything else we've gotten before, just on different figures. This time, everything he comes with just does not help him. The alien also is nothing great. It's the same body we got before, has a little retool on the torso, and a big retool on the head. And I like what they did. I appreciate what NECA's given us here, and if this alien was single-carded, it would be a hands-down recommend because I think it's a fun gimmick. And overall, I just don't think I could recommend this set. It's not a strong not recommend, it's the weakest possible one, because I could not fault anybody for wanting to pick this set up, but it's not worth all the effort to get it. If it's gonna be hard to get this set, you can live without it. The Hicks just doesn't do enough to impress me. Now, if you missed out on Wave 1, I can see going for it hands down. If you don't have Hicks already, then fine, do it. But if you have the original one, you could still just be happy with that, I think. So, very, 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 very mild, not recommend. A couple quick extra alien notes here. As I'm recording this, Series 2 has not yet reared its ugly head at my local shops. I did find it in a comic shop while on a trip, but they wanted $25 a figure, and I wasn't paying that. So when they do hit my local stores at a more reasonable price, I will definitely scoop up at least the new Marine and the original Big Chap alien. I don't know, I need to army build the regular Xenomorphs. It'd be the same review I already shot, so you're not missing out on anything there. Same with the Alien Genocide pack. I actually had that come to me, and my black Xenomorph's arm was broken, and I quickly sent it back to Amazon, got my money back, because, once again, not army building these aliens. I don't army build figures, and I didn't need it. So, unfortunately, I gotta say that with Aliens figures, while I do love them, and I do intend to pick up new molds, I might be a little picky and choosy on this line. Not like the Predator line, where I've fallen for so many stupid repaints. I'm putting my foot down with the Alien line, and I'm going to try to avoid just getting the same Xenomorph done in different colors. Make sure you check me out on Instagram, username Outside the Box Reviews. Check out the Facebook page, link below. Until next time, it's been another Outside the Box Reviews. Stay tuned for more to come. If you collect it, you can find it at allscaleseverything.com.